Yeah.
It's been a minute since we had a regular episode.
Yes.
Yeah, Wholesome.
A while.
Then we had Sharice and all the extra content that came with that. And now it's
At a
just,
lot of events.
back to
That
us.
too.
Just the four of us.
Back to basics.
Welcome back to the Wholesome House, episode 27. We're coming fresh off of the event with Sharice this past weekend. The episode before this, we referenced it, kind of talking about how great it was. So now we actually
And I said it was good.
It was great.
It was
we enjoyed ourselves.
We're correct.
Had a great time. Got a nice sweat in.
Stay hydrated. Shout out
It
to them
was
snow.
hot,
Shout out to them
yeah.
snow cones.
But yeah, it's your boy Z Breeze, your favorite commentator on the court, and in your heart. Who else we got in the building?
And in your heart. Yo, it's Wavy J, man. Mr. Bag Boy, Mr. Smartphone, Smart Water. Big shout out to that, bro. And I'm so happy to be here. We had a really good weekend, really good guests. So I'm really excited about this episode.
And also, Mr. March,
You dig.
might as well, feeling good as normal, and thinking this would be a great episode.
Troy drinks all the polarizing flavors of pop.
I find this very funny.
All the stuff that they tell us not to drink.
No, just think about all the people that were like, "Oh, I hate orange pop," or like, "I hate grape."
I love
You might love it, but there's plenty of people.
There's
that
a
don't
lot
like
of
orange.
people who have strong
There's plenty of people
opinions.
that don't
Definitely
like
about the grape, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's crazy because grape is good. It's all
Grape
good.
is good.
I ain't gonna lie, grape and orange are always the last.
That's what- see, yeah.
Popsicle. They don't have a grape.
That's funny.
Yeah, they don't have a grape Starburst, but if they did, it'd probably be
Oh,
last.
yeah.
Definitely.
They don't have a Skittle, but I'm sure it'd be the worst Skittle.
They might have
There's
this
a-
good.
there's
They
a-
do have-
there's a
it is a
grape.
grape. It's
Wildberry?
brown. No, it's like
Not in the regular
regular
pack. It's
yeah,
Skittles.
that's
affect
grape.
your
It's like
DNA.
brown. Excuse me.
Skittles affect your DNA.
How so?
I still need to do my intro, but go ahead.
Yeah, he does. But I believe that I saw this.
I did see that. They said like Skittles, but they said a ton of different foods too, like snacks.
Oh, okay.
There's something in it, but the Skittles is one of the things that they pointed
Then
out.
I'll just say that was a pretty good headline then, huh? Y'all said, what?
That is deep.
Skittles?
Yeah, we'll have to look more into that. But yeah,
Hey, who are you?
be careful with them Skittles out here.
Please.
But anyway, I'm Benjamin Lane. I'm actually going to set aside the Segway Sensei title for a little while, I think. I'm going to pick up with the Soundbite Surfer. I really like that one. So
That's pretty
staying in
tough,
the
bro.
S's. But
I like that.
yeah, so Soundbite Surfer, that's who I am today. And
Okay.
obviously it's wonderful to be back in the Wholesome House once again. Now, let me start off today with kind of a deep, trippy kind of topic. So you're gonna have to bear with me a little bit here. I'm gonna try to do my best to explain it and explain my thought process and how I got to this point. Right?
Go crazy.
I was practicing in the car and everything. I was like, how
he's
am I?
ready.
I was literally like, how am I gonna make this make sense in like a very fluid way? All right, so.
Let me get
We all know that
comfortable.
the globe is moving faster than it has previously. We saw those headlines. I know the three of. I don't know if you. We were talking about this when we were waiting on you to get the supplies.
I seen it on Facebook yesterday.
Okay,
And
yes.
then, like a tenth of a millisecond or something.
Yeah, it's ever so slightly, but whatever. So,
But yeah.
obviously, I just hop into my imaginative scenario mindset all the time, and I was just thinking like, okay, so what if it starts really speeding up? Like, what if it gets really, really fast, and we just essentially start losing time? Obviously, that's technically not how time works. Time is not real in a sense. Time is very relative, and it's kind of a social construct.
Fact.
That's a whole different rabbit hole that we don't have to dive into today. But let's say, for the sake of this scenario, the globe, it starts spinning and speeding up, and it's going faster and faster, and essentially we start to lose time, and time itself becomes even more of a I guess it's a hotter commodity than it already is. Obviously, like time is, you just spend it and it's gone, right? And then I started thinking about, okay, well, why? Like, why is it moving this fast? Like, what is it about? Just are we doing something? Is this a part of climate change? Is it something that we're doing? Whatever. And so then I was just, in the world, like that's where my brain was, just in the world of, okay, boom, the world is spinning faster, we're losing time. Climate change. Then I was like, recycle. I don't know how I just came to this, and this is why I had to practice this, because I told you, bear with me here. So my question is, and I'll have to give some further information, but if you were able to essentially recycle time, and I'll explain what that looks like. in a sense of how I'm explaining it. If we were able to recycle time, like how often would you actually utilize this power or this option to recycle? Now, recycling time would look like, let's think of our timeline right now. All right. We're 24, 23, 24. And if you chose to recycle time from your past, that would essentially be taking a moment in time that was already spent previously in your life and adding it to the future, like the end of where you're at. So let's look at this timeline. This is a timeline. Sorry for the people that are just listening. I'm trying to do a visual with my hands right now. So if you're on YouTube,
it's about shoulder width apart.
Right. My hands are about shoulder width apart. This is the timeline of your life. So to recycle time, let's say right here, this is when you were 6 years old. Okay. So say like something happened when you were 6 that you're just like, I don't really need that. Like that was time that it happened, but it wasn't super significant.
Right.
Would, like take this whole chunk out and we're putting it here at the end of your life, extending your life. However, everything that happened at that moment that you just took out doesn't exist anymore. So whatever, like if you may have learned a lesson at this point, think about butterfly effect. You may have learned something that was very integral to who you are today, but like it's really hard to tell. Because, from your perception, sure, it may have been just some insignificant moment of you just sitting there. But in the grand scheme of things, that might have been a life-changing moment for you. So, yeah, my question is, again, like if you had that option to take moments and essentially erase it in order to add more time onto your life and just expand your timeline, how often would you utilize that, again, power, for lack of a better term, or ability, or are there very specific moments that you might be able to even think of right now that you'd be like, yeah, I could have thrown that away. I think if I could recycle that and extend this, then I would have been much more better off. I think I did a decent job.
Yeah, I feel like I understand.
No, you definitely did.
Yeah. I feel like I understand.
I'll go first. So basically, to synthesize what you said, pretty much is that you have a certain time period of life, and at any point in time in the past, you can remove and add that same amount of time to the future. But everything that came with that experience also is gone and lost in the ether, basically.
So it's not like a matter of, oh, I did this embarrassing thing, let me go back and redo it. It's like, no, you completely cut this piece out. It doesn't exist.
It's like
and you put it at the end.
Exactly.
Essentially, or like you're getting rid of a checkpoint, or
it's like you can never get that back.
Never.
Yeah. Wow.
But yeah, to answer the question, I'd probably say definitely at least 2 years of like from childhood to 4. Obviously I wouldn't want to take out the parts where like people have their first experiences with me, meet me as a child, any of that kind of stuff, like the connections that I make parts, like I wouldn't take out, but like all of the sleeping, all of those moments that I don't care. I don't care if I didn't sleep. Maybe
that's dangerous.
What if that just make you just super sleepy?
9,
like you take all that time out and then
that's what I'm saying. Like you might be shorter, you might be less developed, or you could have dreamed of something that changed your perception when you woke up.
It does have an effect on current.
It's always going to have an effect.
Oh, okay.
It has to.
Listen, then I don't. No, because this is what I was thinking at first. At first, after you explained it, I was like, I don't think I would be able to use this too often, because how much would losing, let's say, the sleeping thing? I didn't even think about that. What the heck? I'm gonna be shorter potentially later down in my life. Like that's kind of weird. And just to extend it, like for what? Like why do I have to extend it too?
That's completely up to you. You might want to just be like, hey, I could have used my time more wisely.
It sounds very efficient, correct, but also kind of iffy.
That's what I'm saying. Because like someone could out there be like, well, let me take all the moments of my entire life that I consider to have been a waste, whether that was time I just sat on my phone, time where I was just like in the summer just didn't have a
crazy
job,
'cause you
just
don't
was
know
just
how
sitting
that
around.
like affected you. You know what I'm saying? Moving forward, you might
They
have
saw
just.
something on your phone that made you some money down the line. Some
And
kind of way.
will you taking away these moments only affect you when they also affect?
We'll say
Someone else kind of
we'll say
too?
it just affects you.
Okay, I'm going
That would also
too
be
deep. I'm going
crazy.
too deep, bro.
But either way, it's a selfish question.
2 years. I'm taking 2 years off of the earlier stages of my life, between 1 and 4 for sure.
You're gonna be a completely different person. The earliest stages.
Your early development, bro.
That's what I'm saying. That's when your brain, your body, everything's developing. I'm not
How
trying
will-
to change your answer. I'm just
How will your cognitive functions be affected, bro, by these decisions? Who knows?
you reading at a 4th grade level now. 'Cause
You a totally different. You're not even. You're not even.
I ain't even learning. Yeah,
You're not
my
even breathing. You
gosh.
just staying still.
Oh my goodness.
that could happen, but it could not happen. It
could
So
not.
yeah, I'm
You
taking
wouldn't
that
take
off,
that gamble.
and then I take. That's the only time that I would gamble with. I wouldn't gamble with anything past that because I know the important things that I've learned and gained from everything after that. Like even now, I don't remember anything before that. So it's like if it was impacting me or if it could impact me, it's like you're right. I couldn't guess. I know exactly how losing age 11 is going to affect me, or losing age 13 because I know all the life lessons because I reflected on.
But
that
it
already.
also doesn't have to be an entire age. I feel like
or even moments.
I
I'm saying.
like. I think I understand where you're going.
The
'cause
moments
it's
are
kind
lesser
of,
than.
it seems less risky, but it's also very, very risky. For 2 years?
I'm not saying like 2 years straight. I'm just saying like
2 years worth
I'm-
of time.
more worth of downtime
Okay.
when I know that
Okay.
I was just sitting there as a baby, probably just sitting in my crib looking around and stuff. Like all of that, I would take all of that away and all the cognitive whatever that I gained from that. I don't care. But every other part, like after that, like after I remember, like even stuff in second grade that I remember impacts me to this day for the better and stuff like that. Like I remember like things that
I
I've said
cannot
to
remember
myself, or I loved my first grade teacher, Miss Rodgers. Like my favorite teacher still. So it's just like
to this day.
anything after that I couldn't risk, so I like just settled. But like say if maybe it was like a life mission or something I was accomplishing at the end of life, and maybe I was right there to getting that generational wealth for my family, I just need a little bit more time because I didn't trust nobody to carry out that mission for me. Yes, I would go take that downtime out of before the age of 4 to finish that and accomplish that.
See, now it doesn't seem as risky because you're getting more out of it, it seems.
Well, potentially that, but that's the ambition that I'm gonna just use to make that decision.
Interesting.
I agree with you, bro. I think I would take like some of the earlier years, and too, because like you know what I'm saying, I moved around quite a bit, so I be feeling like a lot of those already, a lot of those memories and stuff be kind of like in different places, or you know what I'm saying, I'll be remembering like bits and pieces, but like so much of that. And granted, you know, it could have had some type of like effect, you know what I'm saying, on me down the line, but I was thinking similarly to you, like I might take that chance. You know what I'm saying? Maybe, shoot, it might work out a little bit better. Maybe some of the moments, bro, it might have, you know, did me more good in the future.
Now, that's an interesting concept, too. You take out the parts that made you, quote unquote, worser than, you know, or
You know what I'm
worse.
saying?
Yeah. I don't know. I think I still probably wouldn't take any time if I needed to. Because I feel like, kind of like to this day, there are probably things that I may not remember, but I do think have probably a more significant impact on me than I can actually, you know,
Fathom.
yeah, imagine. So, yeah, I don't know. I guess I don't know. I would only do it if, like, I guess I really had to.
What would present
know.
the situation in which you
To do
really
that.
had to? I feel like it's definitely
Start
comes
having a
down to-
midlife crisis. You're like, you know what? I am gonna renege on that. I am gonna go ahead and.
Man,
Yeah.
10 was terrible.
He's like,
No
you know
way.
what?
Bullied for having
he was
Pokemon
like,
cards.
third grade wasn't all that, bro. He's talking about.
I don't know. No, definitely not that. I don't know. It's a very interesting question, though.
I wouldn't touch my earliest years at all.
That's sketchy, bro.
At all.
respect it.
It's too much of a risk.
Okay, I guess I do have an answer. Like, because all I can really think of now is the time I've had up until now.
Yep.
So I feel like a lot of the time that I'm at work, I would probably try to recycle that time.
I thought about more recent time too.
That's exactly what I was thinking too. Like I'm thinking of like what is the time where I was very, very aware and like I know for sure it was a waste.
Yes, absolutely.
Like,
yep.
Everything in the earliest stages of my life, I feel like we're just so, because everything's so new to you. So every single thing that happens when you're such like a young, impressionable mind,
It has an effect.
I feel like would have
It's
some
crazy.
type of significant effect in terms of how I perceive my environment, how I understand myself. Think about babies putting stuff in their mouth. Like they just do that because they need, like that's one of the senses that develop so quickly is their like taste in their mouth. And so it's like, that's the whole time where you're just learning, like every single aspect of your, like every waking moment you're learning.
You're a sponge.
And then every single moment you're asleep, your body is growing and like doing some process. And that's how I envision things. It could be some of that is unnecessary. I don't know. Babies do sleep quite a bit, but I just feel like I would wait to take stuff more, like recent, where I knew I was literally just like sitting somewhere, sitting in a room because I was told to, or because I felt like I had to, or I was just on the clock. And
Any dummy mission, I
Yeah,
feel like
facts.
for sure.
driving anywhere and then not working out and driving home.
Or just a really, really, really long drive.
Absolutely.
That for sure. Yeah,
Driving to
recycle
Texas
that,
or
bro.
Florida.
because after you drive like a far distance a couple times, what more can you learn, or what more can you gain from that
It turns
experience?
into just get there.
It's literally just like,
Absolutely.
oh, this is just what I need to do in order to reach my destination.
I'll be on autopilot driving to work every single day. Like
Yeah.
sometimes I got to snap out and then be like,
I'm saying, bro.
Yes, bro.
But even that can be dangerous too,
Matrix,
because
bro.
think about like sometimes when you're on autopilot, usually it's just your mind is just somewhere else. So sometimes like those thoughts that come to you, like in those weird moments, think about like, well, I don't know for you all, but I know I come up with a lot of ideas in the shower. Like if I'm just sitting in the shower and it's just maybe my senses are blocked to some degree and I'm just like, zoned out somewhere, I guarantee you some of my like greatest ideas have come from that time where I wasn't actively doing a whole lot. And so, yeah, those moments where you're on autopilot, that may have been, the moments where some of your best, foundation ideas, even, it may not have been like, this is the golden idea, but it could be sometimes, oh, I did think about, trying this and that didn't quite work out. So maybe because I thought that and reflected on that experience a year from now I'm thinking of this, like it's
still butterfly.
it's so dicey.
I'm on autopilot like 80% of the time. Like I'm always.
That's a
thinking
lot of
about-
time.
Because I'm always thinking about something else. Like I could be doing the most important task of life, and I'll be thinking in my head like,
That's the multiple Zacks.
I'll be
Yeah, right.
for real. Like today at work. Yeah, like today at work, it's like I'm doing the loans and stuff like that, but I'm thinking about Phil Handy. He's a NBA trainer. He's like Kobe's favorite NBA trainer, and then now he's like an NBA like training GOAT. And I'm thinking about how I can become a basketball trainer and like the possibilities and like how he was an innovator. And I'm mapping this whole scheme out for like 4 hours in my mind, fully like doing whatever I'm doing. But it's like I'm always doing that. I'm always.
And see, that's
mapping out
the
something else.
cool part about that. Like, if you could recycle time, because you could also take those 4 hours where you were just stuck doing something else, but thinking it, and use that time to actually do it and implement like the stuff that you want to do.
But do you get the knowledge?
Do you
and
get the-
stuff?
do you get the
Because I don't
thoughts
think
to
that's
come with
fair.
it?
I don't think that's fair. To
You
get the
don't
knowledge.
know.
Is that
If
is
you
that
taking
included?
that out, you got to take out the knowledge too. So you go be out here just.
Next day you gonna be like, you gonna like, you
But
gonna
then
like,
that's
dang,
when
I don't
you
know.
have to figure out what's more valuable, like actually doing it and trying it and just like winging it, or having the time to actually sit there and think about it.
You have to just weigh the gamble.
It's for sure always going to be
So,
a
yeah.
gamble.
Because I feel like also anytime I've seen a bad movie, or I can give you specific movies I wish I had time back from.
That's fair.
For sure.
And that's kind of the beauty
And
of
that's
it
a couple
too.
hours.
Just because it also depends on like who you are and what you want in your life, or what you envision. So like you saying you would take that away, whereas someone like me who could see myself writing a film one day, maybe watching a bad movie is like, okay, let me not do that. Like there's value in that for me, whereas you would just be like, well, I just need that time.
Nah, some of them, like this did not really add value.
What's that word?
Yeah, to you,
What's the word
it's
for
all
the Catwoman movie?
Irredeemable.
irredeemable.
No.
Movies out here.
The
bro.
Batwoman movie.
No, Batgirl movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm saying maybe if you watch that, you like, we'll recycle this time.
There's no way
Hopefully
that
not.
movie was that bad.
All that
bro.
money,
Nah,
there's
bro.
no way.
Oh,
There's
me.
no possible way.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just
2 years.
Sticking to it.
years.
Okay.
I would probably take about 2 or 3 years, but not in that same time frame.
I want you to give me a 2 or 3 year span.
I
if
would
you
probably
gotta
take
choose.
about 2 years between.
I'm gonna make a reason. Watch.
Probably between 18 and 20.
Wow.
Interesting.
Wow.
Yeah.
Those are some of the best years of my life. I ain't even go cap, but I respect.
But there was a lot of time where
Those
I
are
was falling
important
asleep in
years for
class.
me. Wow.
That's valid. That's valid. I mean, college taught me hard work. It also taught me finessing. It also taught me,
Yeah.
ambition and longer writing and ethos. So I'm like, yeah, I mean, it's a give and take, but I respect it though, nonetheless.
But it's just, yeah, again, it's always a scale because it's like what
I'm gonna be
realistically
brain dead.
out of 4 years, if we're not taking 2 consecutive years,
Yeah,
right?
just periods of time.
It's just like moments.
Yeah,
Like think about all the moments.
yeah, but you take a half of college.
Yeah.
So I'll take 4/8 of it.
I was gonna say 17 through 19, but I think 17 through 19, especially like the few years of like last time in high school, those are some of the very
Need that.
those were a lot of
Need
moments
that.
that set me up to like figure out
Definitely back in high school.
how I
for sure.
envisioned my lifestyle.
Mhm.
18 through 20 was like, all right, now I just got to figure out how to get there. And a lot of that time was spent in classes that didn't need to be, like I could have been doing something instead.
I loved
So-
every class I took. I ain't even gonna lie.
Wish I could say the same.
I would go back to school if it didn't cost so much money, just for the education. Like,
Oh, I definitely would have
for
went
the
straight to
love of it.
school. Yeah, I would have went. I probably would have a freaking doctorate at this
On
point.
me.
Easy.
Mm-hmm.
Easy if it wasn't so expensive. So I get
Okay.
that for sure.
Yeah.
Because there is value, but that's the hard part when it comes to just education and schooling. Is no matter what anyone you're gonna like, you have to pick and choose. Your brain can't even actually like. We don't really genuinely have the capacity to consume 100% of the stuff we're getting in classes. So that's again one of the reasons why I feel like
Western medicine.
if I could pick and choose all this stuff, because I especially knowing where I'm at now, I feel like I have a very good idea of what stuff I learned in class that I utilize and that I really benefit from,
Indeed.
that I could really just like throw out a good chunk of that. Well, really, also, it's not even just being in class. It's more so just like time I spent on homework and stuff.
Oh yeah,
You know, it's
it
just
was
like-
it was some filler arcs in school for sure.
Like I
bro.
learned a lot in
Yeah.
logic class. I learned a lot in
Okay.
logic, but I spent a lot of time on logic
Shout out to-
homework.
Hey,
You know.
I was thinking about our class not too long ago.
Or I learned a lot about pathos, ethos, logos in classes, but I spent a
Rigmarole.
lot of time writing papers outside of it.
Man.
Whereas sure,
Reading articles,
bro,
4
yeah,
papers.
yeah, exactly.
doing
It's
all
like,
that
reading
research.
books.
like at this point, this is for you.
Citing
This isn't for
sources.
me. This is just to prove that I'm, learning it. But I
enjoyed
learned
some
it
of
already.
I enjoyed some of it, but if I need this time, it may need to go.
All right, when I ask y'all to do like a SWOT summary, y'all can't do it. I don't hear nothing.
I'm sticking with my no goes.
Yeah.
Ain't doing that.
That's funny though. I respect all the answers though, because I was definitely thinking just say nothing, because I try to make the right decision all the time. Then I was like, still I know I've wasted some time.
I get that too, because like I do want to be like, oh no, everything happened for a reason and blah blah. But at the same time, I could have made a lot of more stuff happen for my reasons
Oh, man.
if I had some of that time back.
Honestly, yeah,
I just don't know how it would affect. That's all.
exactly.
I need like some type of breakdown sheet, bro.
That is, yeah.
Some type of web or something.
Yeah, like
to
a
show me,
whole
like,
like if you make
a
this
Venn
decision,
diagram,
this
bro.
is this.
see where it like crosses and say,
You step
okay,
back from the wall, you just have this whole this map.
Yep.
Just like
You're gonna become
yeah.
a different version of you, bro.
Exactly, bro. Yeah, if I miss
A
that
better
math class,
version.
like I'm
No,
not going.
like everywhere.
So I missed one class, I'm definitely not graduating, bro. It just totally threw me all the way up, bro. Went to sleep just a little too long, bro. I take one piece off, I'm just
Man,
out there, bro.
Just kind of go with my topic a little bit actually,
Wow.
because we kind of talk about like decision making and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, before I get into my topic, if y'all can please like, comment, share, subscribe.
Please.
You know what I'm saying? We
At
really
this point I'm
appreciate it.
begging.
Thank you for all your continued support up
What
until
more
this
do you
point.
need?
more do you want from
What do you
me?
want? More do you want from me?
Tired of this, Grandpa.
I'm saying.
Just subscribe. Just like.
You keep nigga.
Bad.
But yeah, my topic is what is an experience that you've had in your life that completely just fell through? Like it was just like it just did not meet the standard that you set forward in your mind.
I'm trying to think of all the dummy missions that I've experienced.
Mine's is going to Benihana for the first time. I was utterly disappointed.
Oh,
because
wildin', bro.
when we was at OU, it's like I would go to Rochester Hills to go to like the hibachi
Rochester
spots.
Hibachi House.
Yeah,
I've
that
not
boy,
been to this.
that boy is way better than in Benihana.
It's not, bro.
Okay.
It's not. This is blasphemous. It is not.
This is-
It's up there, and it's cheaper. It's a bar. It's
Is it cheaper?
It's a
Yeah,
bargain.
yeah, it's cheaper.
I don't know.
I mean, you saving money.
I went to Benihana's, bro, and I felt like I was at like a Japanese McDonald's, bro.
What did you not like?
Japanese
Did it not
McDonald's,
taste as
bro.
good? Is that what's
Bro,
going on?
it
You
just-
wildin'.
They wasn't
the
chefing it up, bro.
ambiance the ambiance was trash, bro.
Whoa, which one you go
Which
to?
location? Right.
The Troy location.
Put them out there. Okay. I don't think I've
Troy one?
sat
I think I've been to
down.
that
Do you
one.
think the Troy location would be bad?
I've been to the Detroit one.
I've been to that one.
I know. That boy was mid. It's like
Yo.
it wasn't dirty, but it wasn't like upscale at all.
This episode was not
the
brought to
Detroit
you
one
today
is in
by
a weird
Benihana.
kind of
At all.
space too. It's almost like in a building with like some other stuff in it. Isn't it like some
Oh,
other
it
stuff
is.
that's
It
connected
is.
to it?
Yeah.
Like some other offices or other.
It looks like it at
building.
least.
Nah, it's his own thing.
No,
bro.
it's like super tall though.
Yeah.
At least the entrance. It definitely
Well,
seems like it is.
It's
Is the
garbage.
one you went to like that?
Yeah, no, it wasn't like that. But it was garbage nonetheless. And then Nara, I went to Nara. Nara in West Bloomfield
I've
is
never been to
fire.
Nara.
I've been to Nara.
Nara goes stupid, and they got a nightclub in there. But nonetheless, or even the place Shogun, all the places that I've been to, Benihana was just like very commercial. Like it seemed,
You seem so harsh.
bro.
That's why I'm saying there must have been something
because
specific
the
that
expectation
did
was set
this.
too high,
Because
bro.
everybody my whole life, bro. Ever since Big Sean said Benihana's for the first time in the song, everybody's been talking about how
Had
it
people
just-
going crazy in middle school,
the
bro.
best thing in history, bro. I tasted it. I'm like, this sauce is cool on my rice. Thank you. But outside of that, bro, like this is normal. Like,
You wasn't that Benihana and you know the wontons, bro.
exactly, bro. Like
I'll be
I
honest.
prefer Yoshi over Benihana.
How did you feel about the
Shout out
theatrics?
Yoshi.
the what?
Ooh,
The
there we go.
theatrics, like how they be doing like the little onion
They
tray.
Did they
Flip
do
it
the,
right.
did they
They
do the
drop it?
volcano?
Did they
Right,
drop
they
it or
did.
something?
Yeah, they did all of that,
And that
it
didn't
just-
do it for you?
They did. They looked very unenthused in compared to these
Oh, they
true people
worked.
who got these small
They
family
burnt out.
shops.
What time did you
No.
go?
You talking about true
No.
people?
It was like
Said Benihana's the
6:30.
posers.
6:30.
6:30.
This is
You
an
ain't no way.
authentic Japanese. pussy.
Exactly. So I'm getting these authentic
No way.
experience at these like spots, and then I go hear it, and this is just like customer service with a smile. This shit was ass, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
Wow. He said there was no love in it.
I definitely go back because it's good enough. Like it's good. I'm not saying
you
it's
do admit
nasty,
it was good.
but the other
Wow.
places is way better, bro.
It
The
had-
yum
it had no
yum,
love in
bro.
it. I hate
Every
the yum
place
yum
has
sauce.
yum
Ginger,
yum.
the miso.
I hate the yum yum sauce.
The miso
soup.
trash.
The miso was fine.
The ginger
miso was the
salad.
best at
This was
Benihana.
good.
If you even eat a miso, bro, I'm sorry.
Because other places they be putting too
Wow.
much tofu and all this other
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
in
Sounds
there.
good.
The
Sounds
miso
good.
was great at Benihana.
That's crazy.
Yeah, not a fan, bro. It did not meet my expectations, bro. Everybody made that shit sound like a 11 out of 10, and it was an 8.5.
That's still not that bad.
I never once said it was bad. It just
But he
did
said-
not meet
he
what
said
people
it was an
made it.
11.
Yeah, no,
That's impressive.
He said he needed to see them doing backflips, all
It's
type
like-
I just
of.
need them to smile a little
you
more.
want a
clean
real,
the
you want
bathroom
Samurai Jack to come out the kitchen and cook up.
better. Hey, give me a coupon.
Bro,
No way. No.
So maybe I talk more highly.
oh my god, bro. Talking about y'all sponsored my next visit, bro.
Come on, matter of fact, give me Benny's number.
I'll put this.
I
On,
need to
Give me Benny's number, bro.
I need to speak to somebody.
I'll put this on Twitter. They're gonna be like, "I'm sorry that you had such a poor experience."
No, they
might.
DM us. You know,
Give me. A coupon.
I'm so sorry that we had
we for sure.
unsatisfactory service.
That's crazy.
They be like, "Shut the fuck up."
They gonna be hated, bro. They gonna get you the DM like, bro, why is you disrespecting
Hey,
us,
you better
bro?
be happy Radio Shack is not replying to you.
Oh my god.
Radio Shack be wild.
Don't say you had a
Going
bad experience
crazy.
at Radio Shack, bro.
That's a bad
They be like,
idea.
no, you didn't.
They pulling up. But yeah,
But-
Should have upgraded. Excuse me.
No way. But you were saying, what is one experience that was
didn't live up to
did not live up to the expectation? Oof. Can someone else go before me, please?
You have,
I'm trying to think.
Both of them are things that I'm just nervous to talk about.
bro. Please.
I don't know. You gotta say something because I needed to spark an idea.
Spark. I'm trying to leave a mark.
This man is over here fighting demons.
Just
The devil and angel on his shoulder right now.
about do it.
It's something I should have saved for the unwholesome.
Shoot the
house.
J. Shoot it.
Just like that, bro.
we here now.
Ooh.
I'm trying to think of movies. I'm trying to think
I'm
of
a
like
bait you. You
amusement
gotta say
parks. I know it's for sure something. There's been plenty of times where I've gone like downtown, just like, I guess just dummy missions in general. There's moments where I'll be like super duper excited for like plans with people. Then like
the biggest gap though.
one people,
Man.
like it'll be like the one wrong person was invited or something. It's just like, dog,
Everybody,
the
just
whole
all in a
experience is
funk.
just different. You just like, I just wish I stayed home. In a couple of those. Yeah, I don't know.
Come on, John. I know you got something that just was just not there for you.
I'm trying to think, bro.
You just did not hit like you thought.
Work. When I finally
Word.
got a full-time job, I was super excited for it. I be seeing tweets all the time. It'd be like, me at the job, I asked God to I prayed for.
I can't say that on camera.
I love my job.
No, my current job is cool. I'm talking about like when I first stepped into the the real
workforce.
career, the workforce. I was just like, oh, this is okay.
I've always loved my job.
I don't know.
That's funny.
I think, bro. This is one I should have thought of
Hey, y'all
way
can,
longer.
y'all can get a new topic and triple back to this if y'all need to.
I just cannot commit, bro.
Oh my
Commit.
gosh.
Please.
I just cannot commit. I'm sorry.
I just want to know so bad.
No.
Benihana is good. You wildin' for that answer though.
Yeah, shout out Benihana.
That's so
man.
specific.
I'll try again.
Maybe I should think smaller. That's what I should do. 'Cause
No.
I'm
No, I
The
think you
point
should
is to
share your
think
answer.
larger. Hey, we done wasted about 2 minutes talking about this, but you might as well.
Absolutely not.
Might
as well not. Don't do it. That's
All
what the
right,
angel
we can
said.
double back to this one then.
Mm-hmm.
Troy, you got a topic?
Yeah, I got a topic. So, okay. I want to say a couple of weeks ago, I saw Kevin Hart actually.
Oh, I wanted to go to that so bad.
Yeah, I saw him at
Little Caesars.
yeah, and it's crazy because before that I had went to a basketball game and I'm like, dang, bro,
Steepest seats.
I feel like
bro.
I'm super cramped.
You
in
feel like
here.
you about to fall over, bro.
Literally fall forward.
So then I was in
Tumble
a
down.
super cramped building with people laughing the entire time too, just going crazy. But it was cool. He had some jokes. A lot of it was actually funny. That's normally what people ask you whenever you go to a show. Was it funny? Was it not funny? And a lot of his jokes were funny, but he had a couple that weren't. And I want to say a lot of them were because of what they were about. So I guess the question is, like, what are some topics that you think make for good comedy?
I'm
I
trying.
think-
Go ahead.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say I think always when comedians talk about them, I don't know, like as a kid, Kevin Hart does that quite a bit too. But I feel like that's always safe because at least people in that your same age range or same demographic can kind of at least kind of relate to it. Because I think a lot of it with stand up is just having kind of relatable experiences or at least something that what I'm saying, you're able to convey it in a way that even if it's not super well known, it's like it becomes a bit more accessible. And like people like Kevin Hart, like Cat Williams too, when he with a lot of what he talks about.
You see his last one?
I didn't see the last one. I remember you talking about it and you said it was smooth.
It was good.
It was okay.
Yeah, like it was okay.
I enjoyed it at the end. It got really funny at the last 25 minutes. It's like
That's
One
a
Piece,
long
bro.
time
It's
to be
like One
sitting
Piece,
there.
bro.
Exactly.
Yeah, bro, give it a try. But
I would also say relationships too. I'll say relationships are also another one. Like you can always find some like
So we got relationships are a good one.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I just wanted to say just exaggeration, but to try to make it more specific, I'll say like exaggerating your personal life experiences. 'Cause
Okay.
that just makes for great comedy. For example, Cat Williams, one of the funniest jokes he told was like working at McDonald's. And then the song "Hustling" come on, and he just started like making the burgers to it and stuff. It was one of like his second or third stand up. And every time I watch that scene to this day, I can't stop laughing just because I'm like, if I was at McDonald's and I had my headphones on, I would be in there jamming, making them burgers. Like I'm not sitting there bored. I'm gonna make the most of the situation. So just like anytime people kind of talk about like real life things, slightly exaggerated or like playing on it, or even like Boondocks, like playing on like just like the African American experience.
That's satire.
Yeah, and it's like they kind of telling jokes that like, oh, this is kind of a lot, but it's like it ain't really far fetched, you know. So just like the fact that it's kind of real.
Somebody that ain't funny, but it is funny. Though.
Yeah,
Right.
so I like that a lot.
I would definitely say like kind of on the same lines. I just first and foremost I just enjoy storytelling as like a form of entertainment in general.
I feel like storytelling, comedy is like, in my opinion, kind of the most impressive kind of style of it. Because it'd be like, outside of the jokes, I have to keep your attention for X amount
You
of
have
time.
to be a really strong storyteller, and I just think
You
that's
can't
like a
trip
really
up once.
a lot of it does come down to whether the audience can relate to it, but I think we are a lot more similar than we think. You know, I think people struggle with stand up, as we both recently saw at an event.
We saw when it was too relatable.
Yeah,
Something
like
that
if
people
you
did
get
not want to
too,
talk about.
if you get too specific,
Keeping it too real.
yeah, if you
Man.
get too specific and hone in on like
A niche.
sometimes it works only if the actual audience fits that same population.
Yeah.
But I guess like if I were to go to a stand-up show, I have no information about the demographic like of the audience. I don't know anything about the general area.
You don't even know the name of the event.
Look, right. Like
You're
I
just
know
there.
nothing. Like I will for sure rely on just funny stories from my own personal life, because I think using that exaggeration and using like those whatever's like, even just if you can tell the story well, they're at least going to be engaged, and then you might get like some laughter here and there. But if you go too far and like, oh, let me joke about like growing up with black parents or something, and like the whole audience that has no idea of what that experience is
They
like,
be laughing though. If
not every time. You still
I'm
have to
saying,
do it
imagine
super
when they
duper
don't.
well.
they be
That
in,
silence,
they,
bro.
They be in
that
that
silence.
That just hits you. You be
Right.
golly.
I feel uncomfortable. I definitely get it because we're the most oppressed group. Like it's different. So it's like if I go to I think his name like Osni Osnari or something like that. He's like
Aziz
Ansari.
Yeah, I don't even know his name, but like Aziz,
funny.
he could
is
tell
funny.
jokes about his culture all day, and I'm going to laugh at them even if I don't know what he's talking about
He
because
also has like the political jokes, right?
yeah, because he'll give me enough context about it, and he'll make it funny because he's going to play on what he assumes our stereotypes are about them. So it's like even when they do that, it's like if you do it as tactfully as like he does it, it's like I'm going to laugh, or even like like there was a comedian, there was like a woman comedian who was lesbian, and then she was like making jokes about it and stuff like that. And it's like in normal context, I wouldn't laugh at it, but it's like you're doing it with the purpose of trying to like use what.
Like,
It's like you're kind of creating a bridge through comedy. Like I understand that you're not a part of this population, but this is my experience. I understand your perception of this experience,
Right,
And that's
exactly.
like connected to
exactly.
through
Let me make
laughter.
exactly. Let me
That's
make
what
it tough to see.
Paul Mooney used to do on Dave Chappelle with the Negro Damas, where it'd be like white people asking him questions like about, you know, like he had this whole wig on and like totally different, But that stuff is always interesting too, because you know you get those questions and stuff that people might not have even wanted to ask, or you know, you showing a totally different side.
Well,
Jordan Peele,
oh,
like the Obama thing. Like you know that's funny to a lot of people because they're like, wow, this is what Obama could really think and stuff like that. Then we sitting there like, man, I'm sure he's trying so hard to keep it cool because he probably is feeling a lot of these things. So it's like we're relating because it's like the stereotypes.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, you was gonna say
go ahead.
something.
No, you were saying something.
I was just gonna say, I don't even remember no more. It was something about the guy we saw.
Oh, yeah. So to give that context, we were just at a event that recap is coming. Actually, it'll probably be out by the time this episode is out. So check that out. But there was a comedian.
Yeah.
We didn't really. We did. We have some footage of him, but we didn't interview him.
No.
So you probably won't because we're roasting him right now.
This is the real.
I'm gonna try not to include him in the recap because I don't want to just cut into him and then be like,
You're
yes,
just gonna
this is
see
him.
a shot of people and then it's a blur.
It's just
Got his face censored out.
right. But yeah, he got up there and he was just
he bombed
like,
so gracefully. He really did.
He did. But
like,
yeah,
I can admire that part of it.
He saw his set through. He
Yes,
finished.
he committed.
Because I'm not that strong.
Did he
I'm
have
not
that hard?
brave,
Did he
bro.
have that hard silence going too? Like where
Yes.
some jokes were just falling flat. And it
Oh,
was just
absolutely.
like-
But it was
Multiple
like
times.
each time we
30
got
minutes.
crowd interaction, it seemed to have gotten worse. At least from where I was sitting.
oh man.
He would ask a question and they would give an answer, but it's like one guy and it's like he's repeating himself and it's like
Trying to be a dick.
nah. He's like kind of like he's answering the question. He's like, this joke is not funny. Like answering the question, if that
Kind of
makes
like
sense.
move on.
Yeah, like
yeah,
like
the
okay,
question.
like yeah,
Yeah, like where are you going with this?
right.
And it was like each time he asked, it was just
It's
like
kind of dickish.
another nail in the coffin. I'm just
It's
like,
like, bro.
dang.
It's like you were saying too, like with those set lists, bro. Like some of those jokes in your set, like don't pop. You gotta have another option.
Yeah,
you gotta
you
have
gotta-
some. You gotta have some in the tank.
Something in reserve. Like, okay, they're not feeling this whole
That's
subject
it,
matter.
bro. Well,
I'm saying, I'm
what
gonna look
joke you pulling
around.
out?
You asking me?
Yeah.
Say less.
You buying
There?
What's the one that you got in the back of archives? Like, man, if nothing else, this one will probably get a little chuckle.
I'm probably just gonna start roasting the audience like he.
That's always that's a great.
Not
idea.
roast, but just like using, like
Picking up what's
them
around
just
you.
yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
Start using their
Y'all on a first
experience.
date.
Yeah, exactly.
Make it awkward.
Everyone's gonna look at them and get them engaged, and then they're all
Take
feeling
the heat
uncomfortable.
off of you.
Yeah.
Hey,
High key.
you be like,
But yeah, that's my
That's what you
go-to.
doing.
Is just
That's a
like,
good
all right,
one.
let me just freestyle based off of my surroundings.
That's a good one. I'm trying to think of a specific topic. There, I was thinking kids specifically, like jokes about kids. Specifically.
About having kids or about kids?
Well, I'm sorry, I'm maybe giving up too much information. The comedian that was there, I gave information that he had children, but it was, at least in my head while he was doing that, I'm like, okay, hop from that topic to that in some sort of way, because he had kind of humored that way, but I'm like, the rest of your jokes are just bombing, bro. Go that way. So, and also there were kids there too, so I'm like, okay, so other people around there would understand what it's like having kids. So I guess that answers my question, but it was more specifics, like literally being there. I'm like, bro, anything. You are drowning.
I'm gonna go to just talking about having like a strict parent,
Ooh, that's good.
because I think everybody had either an experience like that or they knew a friend who had a really strict parent and what they had to go through, and they're like, man, this looks really hard.
And that's one that strict parents will laugh at too, and not even realize,
Because they know like, wow, this is kind of wrong. So I just take it there. Like I could say like a funny moment between me and my dad as a kid or something like that, and then I just like every time I tell the story, like everybody laughs. So I take that out for sure.
That's a good one.
might just drop like some stuff from school, bro, from like OU.
Oh, okay.
Like just because it seemed like we said it was just comedic moments at all times.
So you
bro.
would take like a storytelling route?
Probably.
I thought you were first just saying like jokes about like the school experience, which honestly that's a
yeah.
really smart way because like that's
Most people
everyone
went to school.
had some level of school. Like if you go to obviously like grade school or something,
Yeah.
start talking about high school and just like how goofy it was to do anything with. Like all of high school was just silly, like promposals and
Yeah.
going
High school
to
really
the
wasn't
going
a
up to
real
the
place.
sharpener to flex your
It
fit
wasn't,
and
bro.
just all types of strange stuff that we just
Oh,
did.
yeah.
Like
And even if that wasn't your experience, that's something that someone can listen to
Yeah.
and enjoy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or at least try to like frame it in like their own life and like their own experiences.
Yeah.
High school was a fairy tale.
Yeah, I remember them little plastic thing, like the little plastic, the little colorful plastic. They're like real tiny, just circles that were colored, and like you might use them for like bingo
Chips.
or
Yes, I
chips.
do. Wow.
Just
bro.
like bring the stuff up like that, and just be like, everybody knew somebody that just ate them
or
things.
the thing on 4 wheels. I want to think of it like
The TV
it's about
cart?
the big as this. Yeah, kind of.
Oh, just the little scooters.
Yeah.
The little scooters in gym class.
Yeah, we talked about that
Rainbow
before,
color.
high key.
We have. Oh wow. I didn't even
Freaking
peep.
roll over your fingers.
Yes.
The worst pain
Ever.
But you was having too much fun. You would shake it off.
Facts. Yeah, you knew it was something when you saw that at PE. You was like, yeah,
That was a good day.
Yeah, absolutely.
Everything.
So yeah,
everything
see,
helped me out.
that's a good like just old school stuff like that, like the
Yeah.
big parachute. Like you know, there's probably a million jokes you could come up with.
Y'all literally describing the picture of like somebody put it on Facebook talking about remember these days.
There you go.
Oh,
That's
really?
literally the 4 things that would be on there.
There you go, and we all relate to it. But yeah, what else we got?
I would say if you don't, I'll take the Dan Schneider route right now.
Go for it.
Oh, we.
You got some or
You can go.
Yeah, but I seen on
Yeah,
Twitter.
explain
or
it to me because
Instagram.
I've not seen it.
So I seen it on Instagram. If you know me, I am an avid iCarly, Zoe 101.
iCarly. I watched that.
Victorious, Sammy
wow.
Cat. Like I'm an avid like watcher of shows produced by Dan Snyder. And then like I heard that he was like funny,
Shiesty.
funny,
Yeah, a few years ago,
funny with the
sorry.
business.
Iffy.
Yeah, that was still far after I've like grown up and stopped watching those kind of shows anyway.
right.
But yeah, I started hearing he was kind of shiesty, and then like I read about it like, wow, this is crazy. Never thought about it again. But then Jeanette McCurdy just like said in her book that
That's Sam. For anyone that doesn't
yeah,
know, Sam
Sam
from
Oh,
iCarly.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah. So then she was talking about how Nickelodeon offered her like $30,000 to not talk about her experience on the show, and she didn't take it.
Not the
I
NDA.
mean, 300,000,
300,000.
300,000, and she didn't take it to keep quiet about whatever.
How old was she at that time?
I would imagine between the ages of like 14 to 18. You'd be slightly older than what you be playing on
300,000
TV.
to a 14-year-old, 18-year-old.
I mean, I didn't even
Right,
see.
no,
I
you're
didn't even.
right.
I didn't even see what age that like,
They
they offered her
offered,
the
yeah,
money.
she might have been
Okay.
older.
Like it could have
It's
been
right
like in
low if it was
2015.
towards the back and maybe like 18.
Yeah,
18-ish.
but still, nonetheless, it's like we were talking about being canceled and stuff like that. So it's like, if Dan Snyder gets canceled, or do we cancel all of the shows that he created, or is that like mutually exclusive? Or
The
what?
hard part
It's
with
just gonna
that
feel
is
gross.
it's behind the scenes. It's hard to cancel somebody that isn't the face of something. Like, sure, we see his name in the credits all the time, but it's hard to pinpoint what involvement they actually had in terms of like creating the show. And so, sure, R. Kelly, we can easily be like, well, that's R. Kelly. Like, let's stop listening to music. However, we're still listening to plenty of stuff that he wrote,
Man,
because that man
and
wrote
don't
a
even
lot of
know.
music.
Yeah.
But you're not as aware of it because you're not literally
Give me
hearing
an
the voice
example.
of music that he wrote.
Yeah, just name one song. I
The
just never
whole
paid attention.
AJ Nothing But a Number album was
Oh yeah,
was
Yeah,
run.
that man
yeah.
is like
people bumping that.
Yeah, it's like all types of stuff. And so I think it's difficult to be like, oh, I'm canceling Dan Schneider, because it's like you're not constantly, like, if you turn on Drake and Josh,
Literally.
you're watching Drake and Josh, you're not sitting there thinking,
Dan Schneider.
damn.
Yeah, it'd be different if he was like just
Dirty
popping up in the
Dan.
show. You know what I'm saying? Like he was just some type
Facts.
of weird recurring
Right, they didn't even do
character.
him like Stan Lee or nothing, where he just had like little cameos.
You never.
we don't
you
know
never,
it.
you
Like,
never seen that man.
and also, it's hard to say, like, when it comes to people's names and credits, like, you can never completely pinpoint, because he might have just been bankrolling these shows, after a certain point. Like, like a executive producer, a lot of times they don't make a lot of decisions when it comes to like the vision of the show. A lot of times they're just like around and they just have the money. So
Give me a lot of insight on the
yeah,
film and
on like TV
process.
industry, if it's not always just like
Cut and dry.
yeah, it's teams and teams of writers, it's teams of acting coaches, and like the actual people that direct other episodes. You can have a TV show that has multiple directors per episode, like one director for this episode, the next director for that episode. So it's like really hard when it comes to like TV shows to just be like, I can't watch anything that because that was a large part of our childhood.
Everyone's
Like,
Man.
like all of
There's a
those
lot of
shows.
a lot of those Nick shows were done by Dan Schneider, bro.
like literally. He said Drake and Josh. Like he just reminded me of that. I'm like, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not.
No.
You can't. I'm not canceling any of those shows.
If he like,
Ever.
A lot of them I want to show
come-
to like my children.
Right.
If he want to like go speak somewhere, I'm probably not gonna go to that. No.
Yeah,
But you
exactly.
think he's
saying.
getting paid off of
Yeah.
I want to hear Shonda Rhimes speak before I hear Dan Schneider. But like, like that's something I can do. I'm not gonna go and be like, oh, Dan Schneider's got a expo going on. Like, oh, let me go.
You go to that, bro. You are heinous, bro. Someone told me
Drake
that.
Bell going to be there?
Exactly,
No
bro.
way.
Talking about, bro.
Drake
I'm
Bell's
so
toxic
excited
too.
Oh yeah, he's.
You know that?
Ooh, yeah.
Oh, you remember that? Yeah, no, he's a whole mess too.
That's one of them. That's like them
Yeah.
YouTube videos talking about this is gonna ruin your childhood, bro. And it's the whole like, what are these celebrities doing now? You find out they're just horrible, bro.
So this one got arrested for beating up a grandmother.
Exactly, bro.
What?
That man Josh Peck said that like Drake Bell was mad at him because he didn't invite him to his wedding.
I remember that.
Yeah, and he was just like, you know what? He was like, we haven't talked in like a while, bro. He's like, I don't understand. He's like, I don't understand why he would get so angry.
We
about
were just
that,
getting
bro.
a bag, bro. We weren't actually brothers, dog.
Exactly, bro.
Damn.
That is funny, bro.
We was cool back then, but it's been years, Drake.
bro, exactly.
Phone work both ways, man. Come on.
Drake watching that interview talking about.
It was supposed to be me, not him.
I was the pretty one.
Hell me.
Hey man, just chill.
Right.
He talking about, man, eat these donuts, man. He out here looking hungry.
That is funny.
Yeah, man, bro. But that's a crazy situation. That whole memoir that she did is pretty crazy. She was talking a lot about her mom and like just how it was difficult being like a childhood star.
Y'all be reading books.
Oh, we was talking about that earlier, bro.
Really?
Me and Ben, when we was on the live, we were talking about just because I was talking about how you remember when Mr. Brownell was saying, reading is like a muscle.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like you have to build up to it because you can get like mentally fatigued from reading. I'm not gonna lie, I read a like a little something. I think after he said that, I was like, oh wow. I was like, and I was like, what happened to like my childhood like vigor to be able to just
power through.
You are
power
not
through
lying,
one
bro.
1,000 pager in like.
Bro, I used
3
to
days.
grab like several books from the library, bro.
Going crazy.
And just read them all, but just get hopped
Bing,
up
bing,
and just
bing.
read them, bro.
Return them, get some mo.
Exactly. They're like, dang, you back again?
Series, done for.
Done for, bro. Hey, that was me off those Percy Jackson books, low key, bro.
Man,
No,
that's
that
a
was me.
long series.
American
too.
Chiller, Michigan Chiller. I
Yes,
was
sir.
One of those that ever came out.
Absolutely, bro.
I'll be reading though.
And the Goosebumps. I would definitely. I'll pick up a Goosebumps today. I don't know how they read, but I would absolutely try it.
I try to watch the show. It's terrible.
Those Animorph books used to be crazy, too,
I never
bro.
actually
That
watched
is
a single
funny.
Animorph.
Animorph?
Read
I read
single
it. I used to let a covers, bro.
I definitely
I did.
wanted
I used to
turned it
Turn into like a
different
rat.
animal.
Why would they? Bro,
Whoa!
I was like, how did we get
what
here,
graphic
bro?
design artist was like, oh yeah, this the one right here.
And what's crazy is like I probably couldn't tell you what was the like cause of like
Yeah,
them
like
becoming
why are
bro.
all these humans turned into animals?
I have no explanation, but
You done hit every animal in the kingdom.
Exactly.
that is funny.
Yeah, I don't want to go stray too far off from the general topic, but I didn't get a chance to actually watch the interview yet. I am very intrigued to like hear more of what she discussed. But I think it's really difficult to always be like on the cancel radar. Like, I don't know. I think there are some people that I don't want to say seek out like reasons to cancel people or to cancel things because that takes a lot of work. Like, let's be honest. Like, sometimes I be like forgetting. It's like sometimes I'm like, wait, why were we mad at so and so again? And then
Tory Lane.
we know why we're mad at Tory Lanez. We're very aware of that. But I realize like if I forget,
I'll try
that's
again in a year.
it's probably not. This is a dicey thing to say, but it's probably not that like poignant to me, like in my experience, because like let's say someone comes out as like, oh, I just hate the environment. I don't do this. I don't do that. I don't do this. Someone in the world, let's not act like this person doesn't exist because they do. Someone in the world will probably be like, oh, well, I don't want to support them because they don't do this and they don't care about the environment, they don't whatever.
They don't recycle.
Facts.
I'm not that deep into like that world of, like, I don't want to say
Saving
freedom
the
fighting.
planet.
Environmentalism.
Yeah, Ben.
I'm not that deep into environmentalism to where that's
Saving
going to
the
draw
earth.
me to be like, oh, I'm going to cancel this person. there's a lot of other people that have done a lot of things that are so objectively terrible that I don't even have to be like that involved in whatever the issue is.
Indeed.
That it's very easy for me to cancel them. And so it's an interesting just like concept that we do. I don't know. I'm sure social media does have like a large influence in like this culture in general, but you know, we've talked about just like cancel culture in general. Like it's interesting. Like I'm intrigued to see the studies that will come from it in a few years, because I guarantee, you know, starting now, I'm sure people are beginning to actually learn in like college classes the idea of cancel culture and how that develops. And
that'd be interesting.
You know, yeah, like there's gonna be full classes on cancel culture in a minute. So, yeah, I don't know. I personally, this is not one that I'm gonna cancel the shows for, but that doesn't mean I'm supporting him as an individual.
Yeah, because at that point, like, aren't you? Well, I don't.
And I could be sounding ignorant for saying that, but I believe that because of the level of involvement with the show is not like it's a solo artist that is the individual person that's doing all this dirty stuff and wrongdoings. But I just, you know, it's just a different dynamic in my opinion.
Yeah, I just think it's hard to, because I don't know how the deals are, what the distribution on it to the actors that are on that show. But it's like, you know, if you get into that bag of like, we gonna cancel, you know, XYZ or these things from Dan Schneider, it's like, how does that affect, you know, these actors? Because it's like they weren't, you know what I'm saying? They was just you know what I'm saying, just around it at that time. You know what I'm saying? They weren't, you know, involved or doing anything, you know, with him. But yeah, and I think we have talked about cancel culture in that regard too, and I think it does kind of just, to me, feel like dependent. It can be like super like crazy things that happen that people are like, we have to cancel this person for, but I think a lot of it comes down to like people's personal connection to some of these celebrities and like how they really like view them, because some, they may just be like, you know, I'm not super like knowledgeable of this celebrity or like who this person is, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm saying, we said it before, like they try and cancel Drake, bro. It's gonna be a civil war off that, bro. It's some people that's not gonna let it go, bro.
I'm just making sure, because a lot of things that I like been getting canceled, so I was just making sure that I could still watch Joey 101. You feel me?
Yeah, I don't think somebody gonna get you.
No one's going. I'm not going.
I got Paramount Plus. You dig?
You dig?
Yeah, bro. I wouldn't cancel you off of that, bro. If you was watching like, you know, Dan Schneider documentaries,
right,
bro. You out here. How did Dan Schneider get successful videos, bro? I'm gonna be like
how can I be like him?
I'm like,
bro.
You start talking about that, I'm like, nah,
This is
bro.
not the way. We must remain focused.
I'd be like, you can't be serious, bro.
No, just Denzel and like, you know, Will Smith. You know, I don't emulate
Will Smith. He said, I'm gonna be the greatest actor of all time, bro. That's real, bro. That man.
I feel like who else is really saying that?
I remember In Time.
Y'all seen this movie?
Yes, I have.
This would been topic earlier. Kind of made me think about.
That's the one where they see their number like on their arm or whatever.
And you
buy
can
a
steal time. You can buy more of it and stuff, so you can kind of live forever. That just was trippy. It just made me think about it.
Rich people got all the time.
On me.
That was a decent movie, actually.
You know what else is a decent movie?
What's it?
The one I'm watching where whoever's watching this is liking, commenting, subscribing, maybe even writing me, you know, a note. How do you feel today? You know what I'm saying? Whenever you watch this, just tell me one thing that happened in your day. Do that. And share the episode with a friend, too. I love that movie.
It'll be a box office smash.
I'm just saying billions. We making millions.
Donations. Gifts.
So we got to get a Patreon.
Facts.
Man.
Talking about you gave us 20 subscribers. Let's go for 50 next time.
This episode is sponsored by.
Each episode is
not
push.
Benihana again.
Push.
This is not sponsored by Benihana.
Wow, bro, that's
You
crazy.
ruined all chances of us. No, but we might get a sponsorship from.
He's the only one at the table
Shogun
having
or
a
something.
bad time, bro. You're visibly upset, bro. Like, what's wrong with him? He didn't like the volcano. He didn't bat eye. They whispering to his dad like he didn't bat an eye at the volcano, bro. He ruined my birthday.
This is like when I was sitting in there.
Does he want to catch the shrimp? No.
Hell no.
I know you weren't going for that.
Or the egg. They be in there.
Yeah.
They like side eye you. I'm like,
Oh, I hate that part.
I never do that either.
I hate
Exactly.
that part.
Everybody said trying to gas you up to it. Come on, bro. It's
While
not
we all
that-
looking at
The
each
thing is,
other.
like, everything's like on social media. They try to make it. The reasoning for them a lot of times is like, oh, you gonna let another man do blah, blah, blah. It ain't even about that, bro.
I just don't do that.
Just
Yeah.
no, bro. I'm not here for your antics.
I'm not here for your games, bro. Quit playing with
Exactly.
me.
Just cook the food, bro.
And that's normally a day I choose to wear white or something.
Oh,
and if
no.
it hit me,
Scrap.
I
gotta
said
You
leave.
it.
just upset. Everybody just looking at you like,
we gotta pack
and they
it
just
up.
feeling sorry for you.
Right.
We just gotta pack
Feeling
it up.
sorry for
Everybody
And now
gotta
my
go.
steak is medium well instead of medium.
Just all.
All for your little theatrics.
Exactly. Steak burning, bro. You talking about you said well done, right?
Right.
Like,
no, I did
not
it.
actually. Right.
Get it off the grill, please. Anyway, but yeah, you were closing. So, I don't really
I didn't
have.
have to. I didn't have to. I was just kind of throwing it in there.
Oh.
Yeah. I'm had to make sure that people knew.
Yeah,
Two
nah, I
for
think I
one
mean we're
deal.
still good to wrap this thing up.
For sure.
But hey, again, by the time this episode is out, we should have both the recaps from the events that we were at this previous weekend.
Which
out
was a good
on our
time.
YouTube.
We're not saying.
Oh yeah,
it's not a good
overall we
time.
definitely enjoyed everything that we were at.
Yeah.
So yeah, check those out because that's gonna be there and it's very entertaining. Zach's commentary was very great for the Davison event.
Backyard boogie, as they say.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
the
man.
elementary boogie. But yeah, we're just gonna keep having a lot of stuff come up. So definitely stay tuned to like everything as possible. That's why we try to do this. Is it's not strictly because of we just want more numbers on this and this. Like no, we actually have other stuff to like look at, watch, listen to, consume. So yeah, we don't want you to miss anything. And also, if we throw out events, we want you to be aware of it. So yeah, stay connected.
We having fun. We freaking this thing, and you just along for the ride. You know what I'm saying?
Precisely.
I guess I'm gonna sign out too. March. See y'all later. And also, I may have a little something coming soon, and that's all I'm gonna say for now.
ooh.
He always leave it on clip.
Right.
I love it.
Ha ha ha.
Yo, it's Wavy J, man. And let me just say, man, if you're going to tell a joke, make sure it's funny, bro.
Please, please.
Ask yourself first.
Ask
Is this
yourself,
funny?
bro? Because if it's not, we might not
gonna be
laugh
a
at it.
long
We're not
night.
going to laugh at it, bro.
John will definitely let you know.
Yeah.
Oh,
100%.
yeah. I
But
got to
yeah.
call out the mid.
But yeah, it's Z Breeze signing out. Thank you again for the continued support. Can't wait to see you guys for the next episode.
You're.
Yeah.
Ow. Ow.